What Anya just did is pretty much the equivalent of yelling fire in the middle of a movie theater because talking about how she needs to do things before the ship sinks, like, you just can't do that. Her lack of social awareness will always kill me for someone who can read minds, but she is a kid and they treat her as such, and I do enjoy that. But this show, we are now in an arc that has been very hyped up. I heard people say that this was their favorite arc. I heard many people say it was one of their favorite arcs, and that the cruise arc was going to be something truly special. And while this is just the beginning, like, I'm not even sure if I can say we had the appetizer yet. When you do look at the structure of this arc, you can kind of see the potential. And this truly could be the best arc that Spy Family has had up to this point, because rather than picking and choosing different styles to work with, this arc is seemingly going to do everything that we've come to expect from Spy Family, between the secret lives, the identities, the extra missions that are behind the scenes of this so-called fake family. But at the same time, we see the bonds build, and we're probably going to have a mixture of Yor having to protect and also be a mom, and there's going to be a lot of shenanigans, a lot of emotional baggage. I mean, it was a very dramatic ending, all things considered, but at the same time, you just see the potential of this being the first true family Uten vacation, but at the same time, how deadly it can be all at the same time. And while I'm not necessarily expecting secrets to be exposed, at the same time, these are the moments where you potentially could have secrets exposed, and I'm very excited to see what they're going to do. It has the potential. And if anything, in terms of starting an arc, this has the most potential to be the strongest content that we've seen in the show, and I'm very excited for more. But full live reaction over on my Patreon if you would like to see episode 30, full live reaction over there if you're interested. Now, this got potential. This has a lot of it. I like the idea of how they got everyone on the boat, because initially when we're building into this episode, I mean, at first I'm thinking we transported into ancient Magus Bride. When I see the beautiful scenery, I'm like, damn, look at all the plants, the color palette, it's popping. And then I don't know what the hell crawled out of Satan's ass, but when this man popped up with his eyelids upon eyelids drooping down, he scared the living bejesus out of me. But holy shit, man, this is a good establishing moment saying, hey, you're taking a little break from your job, and instead of going assassination, you're going to be on a protection. And immediately I'm just like, okay, this is interesting, because one thing with Yor, when you compare Yor's job to Lloyd's, you know, the idea of going from an assassin to a loving mother, it's a bit of a transition, and, you know, constantly going back to just being a killing machine maybe is something that's a little hard to, you know, even for her to stomach, even though she's, yes, thinks it's all fake, she very much clearly loves his family. So by giving her a mission like of protection, I mean, it definitely gives more opportunities to transition her potentially out of that lifestyle, or at the very least start to get the momentum going. But what's interesting is because how would she, there'd be no way for her to take her family with her. I'm like, okay, well, maybe she can argue because maybe the family won't understand, so it has to be at face value a family vacation. But no, instead we have the contest that was rigged. Basically, the scumbag put the winning ticket up on one of the corners, so when you try to draw your own ballot, you're always going to get the hairbrush or whatever the hell they were giving away. But Anya being Anya, well, we know she can get through that. So the idea that basically, initially the plan was, okay, you can take Anya on this, there's only 2 tickets. Well, actually, I'm already going on the boat, so therefore, Lloyd, you need time off. Lloyd thinking he's going to get shot in the head. Turns out they don't want to pay overtime anymore, and she's just like, yeah, boy, just go ahead, go take that vacation, and we don't have to supply the funds for the cruise. Even better, enjoy your month off, however long this is going to be. It just makes sense how they got everyone onto that boat, but at the same time, there's a big issue, and that is, if something does pop off, I mean, sure, we know that Anya knows that she is an assassin and she knows what's going on here, but at the same time, she's very worried about, you know, even leaving the room, because we have a mission where we're trying to protect a mother and her kid, and the mother gave me some vibes throughout this episode. I wasn't sure what we were building into. I mean, I was like, okay, either she's one step away from jumping off the ship with her baby because she just can't take it anymore, or she's a psychopath. Like, every time she would speak or do something, she would do these glares and they would direct her so suspiciously. Not sure if I'm the only one who felt that. And by the time we saw the little tracking device or the listening device underneath, I think it was Yor's chair, I was like, oh shit, did she plant that? But it turns out no. We kind of end up building this moment where, because obviously for this woman, she knows that Yor's family life is kind of like a fake thing, right? Like, this is just it's all for show. But the idea that she immediately recognizes that, okay, even if it technically started as that, she can clearly tell that Yor cares for her family. So the idea of the disguise. at face value, the disguise doesn't really change her appearance, but in a cruise ship with thousands of people, yeah, yours gonna blend in at a distance, right? And the fact that they're at different levels, because their contest, while yes, they got a free room and everything, as Anya even points out, that's not what she was exactly looking for. So the likelihood of bumping into each other is small, but now knowing that there was a man listening in, and now that we have the information, because basically he was listening into everything, just seeing like, is she on that ship? They drop, I think it was Graham was the name, and ultimately that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. This was, for all purposes, this was a setup episode to get this arc going. But every step of the way, I'm like, yep, we got everything I love about this. We have Lloyd being Lloyd, just kind of analyzing, being like, okay, if I need to do this or that, these are my exits, and like, oh shit, Anya realizes I'm not in vacation mode, let's go do it. Anya being Anya, pouting and winning and just being the best character in this series, to your having to flip around from being an assassin to being a protector, which is ultimately what she's kind of grown into with this fake so-called family life, because she is the protector to Anya. Someone tries to mess with her daughter, she will mess with you. And I love the idea that this kind of feels like the first big moment of transitioning potentially from where we've been lying at face value that this is all fake. Something's probably going to happen this arc that will really get at least one of these characters to admit that this is more than just some fake family, at least out loud. Because eternally we know that they do feel this way. But I think the moment when they were about to leave the room and Yor's very nervous about how, yeah, I guess it is all fake, but, this is her really trying to break out of this, even though she's fighting all of her instincts. And that's why this has the potential to be the best arc. Obviously, it's too early to say for sure. I know a lot of source readers claim it to be one of their personal favorites. I've seen people straight up say it was their favorite. I saw a lot of that on Reddit last week. But overall, in terms of potential, this definitely has the most potential to be the best arc, and I think it is going to progress this family in a very interesting way. My gut reaction says that there will be a lot of explosiveness, a lot of action, a lot of craziness, but by the end of it, we probably will see them just be a family, because they will still be on the ship as long as we don't get the Titanic situation going on here. And in doing so, probably will bring this family together a lot more, and I'm excited to see what they do. I mean, it really does feel like time flies by now that we are officially 30 episodes into Spy Family. I mean, I feel like we're still just scratching the surface. I like the goofiness, I like the silliness, I like the matureness, and just, this is like one of my favorite families I've ever seen in anime. It's just such a riot, and I can't wait to see where this arc takes us, and hopefully they take their time, because there's really is a lot of potential. I hope they don't rush through this one, but let me know your thoughts and feelings down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell so you can get notified when I upload more Spy Family to the channel. Like I mentioned, we have a full live reaction over on my Patreon if you're interested, and hey, while you're there, you also get a video shout out. So today we have Darktis, Christopher Conzi, JJ, Christina K, Joseph Siri, and Aaron. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.